So that's his strategy. Now I get it.
Don't kid yourself. You understand nothing. Watch as I fuse Cerberus and Lilith together. I fusion summon Triple D Flame King Genghis.
Hey guys, it's Bats here, and I just wanted to go ahead and bring you guys a fresh DDD deck profile. So I know Mr. J usually does the DDD and the Zombie and the Fiend decks and things like that, but I wanted to go ahead and try my hand at it this time. Let's go ahead and get 10 likes on this video, just so we can go ahead and help the channel grow, keep the segment going, and maybe I can get some better cards for it if you guys don't particularly like this one. So we're going to go ahead and shoot for at least 10 likes just to keep the segment going, serious deck profiles, and then here we go. Obviously, as you guys saw, I'm playing 3 copies of DDD Oblivion Abyss King Ragnarok. He's one of your main combo pieces over here. If you normal or special summon him, he gets a DDD monster out of the graveyard and special summon it, and then you can tribute another one and target a monster your opponent controls and banishes on your turn. So he's actually pretty strong, all things considered. 2200 point beater, has a nice little pendulum effect that lets you get some DD monsters back, except during the damage step there, as long as you summon another DD monster. So he's good for keeping some board presence back. And then 3 DD Lamia. It's a recurring tuner that's easy to get to level 1, so it gets you into Linkaribo too. And then DD Swirl Slime. This is a floating polymerization. Just take this and whatever else out of your hand that's got DD in its name, and you got a fusion. And then same deal with the 3 DD Necro Slime. A lot of people are cutting it down to 2. If you want to cut it down to 2, I say more power to you. I just like the 3 because then I get to my combo pieces faster. It kind of sucks getting 2 of them in the same hand, but you know, when you don't, you're in pretty good shape. And then 3 copies of DD Savant Kepler. This one searches out for your contract cards, which will get you into an acceptable situation later on. It's also got a pretty nice scale of 10, but it also has a negative effect of your scale dropping every turn too, so that scale 10 is good for a one-shot push. And then you got the Copernicus over here too. So the thing about it is it reduces you to only pendulum summon DD monsters, but you don't run any non-DDs in this deck, so it doesn't really matter. And then also while it's in the pendulum zone, you can negate a spell effect, and then that would damage you. So something like Wavering Eyes, for example, or one of your contract cards, and then pop this, which is pretty nice. And then also, if you special summon this one over here, you can go ahead and drop off a DD card or a Doc Contract card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's kind of like an Overraptor, actually. Soul Eating Overraptor only for these guys. I'm playing more of a rank 8 variant. I got 2 Savant Thomas, and then 2 DD Doom King Armageddon. They're just big names, big levels. That's pretty much what I use them for. 1 DD Orthos, just because you can actually pop 1 card on the field as well as a Doc Contract card or a DD card, and then so you can take care of some really nasty cards on your opponent's side of the field. 1 DD Rebel King Leonidas. I don't normally main deck something like this, but because Trickstars is still pretty prevalent in the meta, it's actually pretty nice, and it helps you from burning yourself out. Then 1 copy of DD Ghost. It's kind of a tech choice. It's fine, I guess, if I ever get stuck on a Genghis in this and I need a rank 8, or I need a level 8 monster to go ahead and get into a rank 8 or whatever. It's nice, but if not, yeah, it's just kind of there. Got the 3 Dark Contract with the Gate over here. This is pretty much the Stratos of the deck, so it's like the reinforcement of the armies. And of course, we got 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Yamimakai, with the Dark World there, and basically what it does is it helps you recycle your pendulum monsters and put them back in a more advantageous place. And then we got another copy of Forbidden Contract with the Swamp King over here. This is another one of. It's kind of like another Swirl Slime, only you can special summon some monsters out of your hand and put them on the board too. It's got a really steep cost, 2,000 points of damage, but it's not a bad idea. And then the original version is the Dark Contract with the Swamp King. This is the lower end Swirl Slime as well, so does the job. Now here's a new one I really like, is the Dark Contract with the Entities. This one, depending on what you summon with the Dark Contract cards, whether it's a Pendulum, an XYZ'd, a Synchro, or a Fusion, you're going to go ahead and get a little something else. Like if you whip out a Synchro one turn, you can't target that special summon with card effects, which is pretty nice, and then you get 1,000 life points if you fuse. If you're going to banish, you get to banish a card from the field to the graveyard if you XYZ summon, and then if you Pendulum summon, you get to draw a card and discard a card, which is actually pretty advantageous in the DDD monsters. It's not a super useful card, but if you run into it and you're in a spot to go ahead and do some combos, it's an amazing combo extender. It makes you feel really good about it, so I like having it. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, because that's a draw engine. I'm running a lot of level 8s, so 2 copies of Trade-In, just to go ahead and keep them moving. They are Pendulum monsters, which is a nice thing too, but if you get them in the graveyard, they're also great Necro targets, so that's awesome. Speaking of Necro targets, 1 Foolish Burial, because these do like to be in the graveyard. A 1-for-1, just in case we need to get to that Savant Kepler, but we don't want to waste the normal summons, so there's that. And of course, Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn, helps extend the combos in this 41 card deck. And we're going to start from the top. We're going to start with the Link monsters. So we're going to go ahead and do 1 copy of Decode Talker, because it's, all things considered, if you do the right combo, you can actually get into this in a number of other cards, usually with a Swirl Slime, a Kepler, and a Necro Slime. That'll get you into the Lamia, so you can do some pretty good stuff and on a couple of pretty nice boards. I can show you guys the combo if you want to. Just go ahead and let me know that if you want that combo tutorial. And then 2 copies of Master King Archfiend. This shortens the combos that you need to land on the Decode Talker, and it also has a little bit of a luck factor it adds to it. It helps you can either recycle your monsters or bring them back out of the graveyard. For a measly 500 life points apiece, I figure it's not a bad deal. If you build an unbreakable board for 500 life points, I'd say that's well worth it. And then moving on to the fusions. DD Dragonbane Beowulf, just a level 8, 2 DD well, 1 DD monster, 1 DDD monster, and this one also has a nice little heavy storm effect during your standby phase. Once we get the Executive King Genghis, this is probably going to be the first thing to go, but in the meantime, it's pretty nice. 1 DD Oracle King Dark, and the thing about Dark is it's going to protect you from all the burn damage those damn contract cards are doing, so if nothing else, if you get stuck on it, boom, you're pretty good. And then 2 DD Flame King Genghis over here. This is kind of your bread and butter combo starter is the thing about it. So usually going to fuse into this first, just so you can go ahead and recur some advantage. Usually if you special summon a DD monster with this on the field, you're going to go ahead and whip out another one back out of the graveyard. Even the fused ones and the XYZ ones, you can go ahead and put them back in the main monster zone instead of clogging up your extra monster zone. So it's going to help you recur some advantage back and get you into a better position. And then moving on to the Synchro's, I have 2 DDD Synchro monsters, so 1 DD Gus King Alexander, another one to be your big combo pieces, and then the Curse King Siegfried, which is another one I like to end on just because it protects you from spells. And then we also have the Clear Wing Synchro Dragon to go with the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. If I can't get all the way into a crystal, a Clear Wing is almost as good, not quite as good, but it helps protect these high-level, ridiculously powered monsters from targeting effects. And of course, as you know, the crystal will tag pretty much anything too, so that's always really nice. And then for a couple of weird rank 8 monsters, so I got 1 Zombie Stain, just because it does have a neat little quick effect of negating some monster effects there and switching them into a bad position, so it works to protect you from battle as well as card effects. And then you also have the Duo King Kali Yuga, which is one of my favorite DDD monsters, big ass attack points, 3,500 points, detach an XYZ material, target a dark contract card, go ahead and put some stuff back, and it also has the ability to destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. It's like the XYZ version of the Bane, so that's pretty nice. And of course, last but not least, the number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, just because it's hands down probably the best rank 8 in the game right now. 1 Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. Really put this one in here for the fun of it. I didn't really have space for a Utopia package, but I did realize that we have a lot of level 4 DDD monsters that can easily special summon themselves, so this is the next best thing. Alright guys, but that is it for the deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. How we do comparatively to Jay's version. How did I do on this one over here? And then just overall, do you think it's something that might be interesting for the format? It's a bit of a complicated deck, and if you brick in it, you cry more than a Mermail player does, but you know what, if you get those combos off, it's devastating, it's hard to deal with, and you know what? People just aren't expecting it right now, so it might be a good way to shake up your local meta just a little bit if you're looking into it. But anyway, on that bombshell, Ace of Bats is signing out, and then we'll go ahead and have something for you special for Saturday.